Hey, I'm Matt, and I have an old bike that needs fixing, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna overhaul this thing, completely tear it apart, and put it back together with some brand new parts, new wheels, and a cool new front rack. So let's get to it. So the bike I have is a 1973 Schwinn Speedster. It's in that cool Schwinn green that I really like a lot. It's a 3-speed Sturmey Archer bike, and I've had it for a while and it's just been hanging on a hook in the garage collecting dust. So it's time to go through it, clean it up, and make it ready for the road. One of the things I've really been wanting to do with this bike is get rid of the 26 by 1 3/8 wheels that came with the bike. It's a Schwinn size. There's not a lot of tire options for them, and they're heavy steel wheels. The brakes don't work real well on polished or chrome plated steel wheels either. So I'm going to switch to aluminum 650B wheels, and that should give a lot more options for tire sizes. The other two things I want to address are the handlebars, which are kind of gawky and huge. I want to change the bar and make it a little more sleek and low profile. And then I'd love to build a little front custom steel rack for this bike to make it kind of special too. But keeping the 3-speed and keeping all the stuff that makes the bike unique, like the chain guard and fenders and stuff too. Okay, so we got the bike broken down, tear it apart, torn apart, taken apart. We got the bike taken apart. So I managed to get the grips off, and the way that I did it was using a kind of a pokey tool I've got, a little poker tool. I'm going to take the sharp end and get it between the grip and the handlebar and try and get some alcohol down in there. With old grips that have been on, these have probably been on there for 40 years. You got to be really careful because they might just get crumbly and fall apart. But I managed to save these. The poker was a little bit thick, and so I used a brazing rod, which is a much thinner piece of metal. You could also use an old spoke, and if you wanted to just make sure the edge is not real sharp so you're not digging into the grip, that should allow you to get it down in there a little further. And with a little bit of patience and wiggling it around, you can get the alcohol down far enough that it will allow you to break the grip free and save it. So I'm just cutting the rear hub out of the wheel. Not gonna keep the rim or anything, or any of the spokes, of course, because they're all old and crusty. But the hub's pretty cool. It's a 73 Sturmey Archer. They stamped the year into the hub shells on these old hubs, which is pretty neat. This will allow me to keep the frame spacing the same as what it came with. For the front end of the bike, I'm going to use a dynamo front hub. I have this little Shimano unit, and we'll run a headlight with that. But the spacing on the fork is a little narrower than what this hub needs, so I needed to go visit a friend of mine. Now Tomi is a builder here in Austin that makes amazing bikes, and he helped me widen the fork spacing and keep it straight. So now the hub fits just the way it should, and it's ready to be built into a new wheel. The bike is taken apart. We've got everything ready to accept the new parts, except for the new parts. I've got parts on order. Things should be showing up soon, and then we will start doing some wheel assemblies and building a front rack for it and making it roadworthy. So check in next time and see where we're at. Thanks for watching.